laps will be the distance for your pro stocks here this evening. Inside row number 1, Ryan Shanahan, number 32, will be inside that front row. Outside him will be Remington Marquette in the number 18. Sid Harmer Sr., the number 690, is inside row number 2. His dancing partner to the high side, that'll be the number 4 of Mike Durham. Rick Duskus, the number 3, and Stephen Gilmore, the number 6, will make up your third row. Row number 4, that'll be Jason Gilmore's number 6X on the inside of the Speedway. Outside him, that'll be Sid Harmer Jr., number 14R. Sean Kirby, the number 3K, and Terry Gardner's number 23 make up row number 5. Row number 6, that'll be Mike White, the number 1X to the inside of the Speedway. On the outside, that will be Burton Ward in the number 28, and shotgun on the field, driver the number 10. That is Todd Raby. The year last week got a little contentious between those two as they had a couple of dumps on each other. They got into each other a couple of times and made for an interesting night and an interesting week on the gossip pages, I can tell you that. But we get ready to go racing for the final time. 20 laps will be this. Green flag is in the air. Side by side, Sid Harmer Sr. and the 32 of Ryan Shanahan work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. They will go for the first time. Ryan Shanahan quickly looks to put himself out in front of the field. He'll work to the middle of the Speedway. Sid Harmer Sr. to the bottom of the racetrack, working off turn number 2. Shanahan's going to lead on lap number 1. Remington Marquette's number 18 will drive up to spot number 3. Stephen Gilmore chasing him. Now go to the outside of the Speedway. There goes Sid Harmer Jr., the 14R, to the outside of Remington Marquette. They'll be side by side. Turn number 3 and 4. Stephen Gilmore, the next car in line as they work out turn number 4. Then it's going to be the number 3 of Rick Duskus, followed by Jason Gilmore, and number 4 of Mike Durham. Back up front, Ryan Shanahan able to take the field off turn number 2, holding on to about a half a car advantage over Sid Harmer Sr. One car way off the racetrack, top of turn number 2. That is number 23 of Terry Gardner. Have to see if Gardner can get that fired up. He will not, and yellow flag is going to be out on the Speedway. Well, Terry Gardner is going to get twisted around in a knot over there in turn number 2. Be long. Ryan Shanahan got a beautiful start. Beginning of this race, Shanahan out of Watertown, New York, the Precision Auto, Bellows, Bridal, Fargo, Sewer, and Drain Ride out in front of the field. Sid Harmer Sr., he's out of Governor, the Kenny's House of Speed. Harmer Contracting Machine holds on to that second spot inside row number 3. That will be the 14. Sid Harmer Jr. out of Governor, the FXVW, Stone Motorsports, GNR Auto Ride, as he tries to close on the number 3K of Sean Kirby coming into tonight's racing action. Kirby back in the field right now, trying to hold on, just stay close enough to hold on to that point championship here this evening. White flag being displayed by Adam Knapp. Back up to the office here on the top of the flag stand. The car's doubling up very nicely as we'll get ready to go back to racing action. 32 in your leader. Ryan Shanahan has lane choice. Your leader has lane choice on these restarts. He has decided to go to the inside once again. So Shanahan to the inside, Sid Harmer Sr. to the outside. Sid Harmer Jr. to the inside of row number 2. Steve Gilmore outside him. Row number 3, Remington Marquette on the bottom. Rick Duskus will be outside him. Then is Jason Gilmore with Mike Durham outside him as we get ready to go back to green. 3 laps in, 17 more to go here in Pro Stock feature action, brought to you by Fabco. Green is back in the air. Sid Harmer Sr. gets a beautiful restart to the outside of the Speedway, and he's going to drive around Shanahan and take the lead down to turn number 3 and 4.
Yellow is out. Yellow is out.
And yellow flag is going to come out, and the report is we're getting no start. No start.
Switch 14.
So no start coming from that last. As once we go back to our last scored lap, the third, fourth, and fifth rows were all bunched up. We had about 3 cars wide, middle of the field coming out of turn number 4. So the
32 is the leader.
32 is the leader, so we will try this one more time. We'll get them doubled up again over in turn number 3 and 4, getting ready to keep an eye on them down in turn 4. Shanahan's going to pound the throttle. Here comes Harmer again to the outside, and Sid Harmer is going to drive by on the top side. So Sid Harmer Sr. works off turn number 2. He'll take him down the backstretch. Outside will be the 32 of Ryan Shanahan. Shanahan coming down the hill, turn number 3 and 4. Tries to come to the bottom of the speedway. Sid Harmer Jr. is going to be right there with him. Harmer and he'll get together. Harmer got sideways. Had to do a great job to save the race car as he got right into the side of Ryan Shanahan's number 32. Both of those guys doing a masterful job of keeping the seat underneath them as they work down the front stretch. Now they go down the back stretch. Everybody back in line. Sid Harmer Jr. goes up the hill, opens the door to the inside. Rick Dusk is trying to slide a nose underneath him, can't get there. Stephen Gilmore watches that battle unfold in front of him. Remington Marquette, the next car in line. 1 car up the hill. That is the 14 of Sid Harmer Jr. And Sid Harmer battling for that number 2 spot in the standings, trying to get to the front, is sitting at the top of the racetrack.
Yellow is out. Orange is out. Turn 2.
Sid Harmer Jr. able to get the car fired up. Not sure maybe if he got a flat tire after making contact with the 32 of Ryan Shanahan. We'll have to keep an eye on the 14R as he heads back down the speedway, and he looks like he is headed back towards the pit area. They have gone to work underneath the front side of that race car.
No, we can go this time. Done. Just got out. Going green this time, guys. Going green this time. 690 fire perfectly.
Well, I walked back into the tower, but the report came from Sid Harmer Jr. has climbed out of the race car over in the pit area. So Sid Harmer Jr.'s night is done here as we get ready to go back to green. Sid Harmer Sr., your leader, pounds the throttle off turn number 4. He'll come racing down the front stretch. Ryan Shanahan holds on to the number 2 spot. Steve Gilmore trying to put a nose underneath him over in turn number 2. Won't get it done. Shanahan's going to hold on to that battle as they work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Rick settles into the number 4 spot in the 3. Remington Marquette rounding out the top 5 cars right now as they work into turn number 3 and 4. Off turn number 4, here comes Jason Gilmore trying to put a nose underneath Marquette. Couldn't get it done. Sean Kirby chases him down into turn number 1 and 2. Kirby drifts up the hill, opens the door to the inside. Mike White's going to take a look to the bottom of the racetrack. That battle outside the top 5 is midway down the backstretch. White trying to put a nose underneath Kirby. Won't get it done into turn number 3 and 4. Back up front, Sid Harmer Sr. brings that 690 down the front stretch. The Harmer Auto Ride into turn number 1 and 2. Ryan Shanahan goes up the hill again, opens the door to the inside. Steve Gilmore not able to take advantage. Now Rick Duskus brings his nose to the 3 down to the inside of the Steve Gilmore ride. We got 3 cars battling for that number 2 spot as they work off turn number 3 and 4. Duskus turns it down to the inside, but the number 6, Steve Gilmore, able to hold him off as they go down into turn number 1 and 2. Remington Marquette in that 5th position, rounding out the top 5 cars as they work off turn number 2. Jason Gilmore chasing it. 1 car slow out of turn number 2. I believe that's Burton Ward down to the inside, and we got Terry Gardner facing the wrong direction over in turn number 2. Terry Gardner will get it fired back up, but Burton Ward's going to roll down to a stop midway down the backstretch.
Side of the backstretch.
Rick Duskus outside him. Remington Marquette inside that 3rd row. Jason Gilmore will be outside him. And then it'll be Sean Kirby down to the bottom of the racetrack with Mike White to the outside. Burton Ward back out onto the racetrack with us. Mike Durham also in that mix to the outside of the speedway as we get ready to go back to green once again. Todd Raby also out there. As we said, the 28 of Burton Ward and the 23 of Terry Gardner to the rear of the field. So down to the turn number 3 and 4, keep an eye on the 690 of Sid Harmer Sr. He'll fire first, and he does. He'll power off turn number 4 and bring the field down the front stretch. Harmer right in the middle of the racetrack takes him off turn number 2. Here comes Stephen Gilmore now to the inside of Ryan Shanahan. They'll be side by side. One car way off the backstretch. That is the number 3 of Rick Duskus, and Duskus sliding all the way down the backstretch sideways. Luckily, everybody able to get by him. And the yellow flag will wave once again as they come down the front stretch. Off turn number 3 and 4, they will come for the green flag once again in the air. Sid Harmer Sr. is going to work off turn number 2 down the back. It's a car length, now 2 length out in front of Stephen Gilmore. Gilmore racing all the way up into the number 2 spot. Remington Marquette able to get underneath the Ryan Shanahan to take away spot number 3, but Shanahan's going to come right back to the outside of the racetrack, trying to get outside of Marquette. Won't get it done this time. Jason Gilmore, the next car in line, goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Turn number 1 and 2. Mike Durham looks outside him. Now Durham squares it off, looks right to the inside. As they come off turn number 2 down the backstretch, Durham trying to slide a nose underneath Gilmore, looking for that top 5 spot down into turn number 3 and 4. Back up front, Sid Harmer Sr. is going to bring him off the top of the racetrack, opening up about a 5-car advantage over Stephen Gilmore. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Remington Marquette comes to the bottom of the racetrack. To the top side is Ryan Shanahan. Shanahan very quickly comes off turn number 2, trying to close that gap again on the Marquette number 18. Remington Marquette able to hold it right down to the bottom of the racetrack. Now he'll drift all the way out of turn number 4 to the top side. Ryan Shanahan able to get the nose underneath him. Down into turn number 1 and 2. They make contact right in turn number 1. And Ryan Shanahan and Steve Gilmore are going to make contact, and they're going to slide off the top of the racetrack together. And that's going to bring a caution out 14 laps in. Told you that, and he didn't want anybody to know. He's getting old, so I think he's pushing that 50 mark here pretty quick. So.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Ryan Shanahan's number 32. You can see him on the hook over there off turn number 2 now, as they will roll him back towards the pit area. Tough break for the young man out of Watertown.
I'm sure we can get it at him if we can. We'll go for it.
Go Pro Street Stock Division. So again, Sid Harmer Sr., your leader in this race will start inside row number 1. Leader has lane choice. He's coming to the bottom of the racetrack. Stephen Gilmore will be outside him on this restart. Right now, Gilmore, a little bit of head games perhaps as he's hanging back on the 690. Now he starts to creep up along the door and let him know who's on the outside. Stephen Gilmore lightning fast in his heat race earlier, as well as a Sid Harmer. Both these guys got out in front of their heat races and took right off. So keep an eye on them down to the turn number 3 and 4. Harmer's going to fire first. He'll pound the throttle off turn number 4. Harmer will work off turn number 2, a car length out in front of Steve Gilmore. They'll exit turn number 2 down the backstretch. They will go. The number 1 of Mike White sliding himself towards the front of the field. Now he'll show up in the number 3 spot. Mike Durham very quickly comes back to 4th in the 4 machine. They'll work off turn number 4, racing down the front stretch. Mike Durham looks to the inside. Steve Gilmore right in front of Sean Kirby's number 3K. Sean Kirby towards the back of the field right now, just being very careful to survive tonight's race. That's all he needs to do down the backstretch. Rick Dust is going to drive right back underneath Sean Kirby. Now the inside of Jason Gilmore over in turn number 3. Off turn number 4, your leader is going to bring him down the front stretch. Said Sean Kirby just running towards the back of the field. Now he'll get in behind. Rick Dusk is over in turn number 1 and 2, and Kirby just being very patient down the backstretch. Doesn't need to do anything crazy in that 3K here tonight. Just needs to keep the nose out of trouble as he works off turn number 3 and 4. Sid Harmer down the front stretch. Steve Gilmore continuing to hold on to that number 2 spot. Here comes Mike White, the number 1X machine. White's going to hold on to the number 3 spot as they work off turn number 2. 3 car lengths out in front of the 4 of Mike Durham. Back out on the speedway is the 32 of Ryan Shanahan, making it back out here a lap ago as they work off turn number 3 and 4. Parallel sticks around, just 2 more trips around the speedway for Sid Harmer Sr., looking for that first win of the 2018 racing season. He'll work down into turn number 3 and 4. White flag coming out that time as they worked around the speedway. It'll be Sid Harmer working off the top of turn number 2. He'll take him racing down the backstretch out in front of Stephen Gilmore for the final time into turn number 3 and 4. They will work to the north end of the speedway. It will be Sid Harmer Sr. working off the north end of the speedway. Harmer's going to score the win. Second will go to Stephen Gilmore. Third belongs to the 1X of Mike White. He'll be followed by Mike Durham, Rick Duskus, the 3K of Sean Kirby, and the 28 of Burton Ward. Senior is going to find his way into victory lane for the first time in the season. Very quickly getting the head off inside, getting the helmet off inside the race car, getting the belts down. Head restraint coming up. Put your hands together. Sid Harmer Sr., your Fabco Pro Street Stock winner. Sid Sr., congratulations. Great run out there. You've been working hard to get up here.
Yes, I have. My boys been helping me a lot in the setups, and I'll tell you, it's been a good crew.
You happy to get back in a race car this year?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I miss it. It's a lot of fun. It's, it's what brings everybody here, It's a lot of fun.
Now, tonight this track was a little racier than normal, a little bit quicker, and it seems like you can stick this thing anywhere. You had great restarts either on the inside or the outside.
Yeah, it stuck real good. They did a real nice job on the track. It's a little bit slick, but, it's not bad. It's this thing will go anywhere. We my boy's been working on it. He's been,
People you want to thank, Hood.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Harmer Auto, my son there for helping me set up, Brett Harmer, my wife, the family, everybody that sticks behind me, Harmer Construction, IQ Motors. Can't say enough for these motors.
All right, well, congratulations. Welcome to Victory Lane. Sid Harmer Sr. going to score his first win of the 2018 racing season. Now, a tough night for a junior here tonight. He was chasing a track championship here tonight. He's going to end up a little bit on the short side of this deal, but we're going to walk back here for just a second. This young man's been in some great battles throughout the 2018 racing season, and tonight he will wear the crown of the Fabco Pro Street Stock 2018 champion. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Here's Sean Kirby! Dick, congratulations. Congratulations. Oh my God, they got a party going on down here now.
Deserve it. You're in a roll.
Sean, congratulations. Back in championship circle once again.
Yeah, feels awesome.
These people are ready for a party here tonight.
Always.
I gotta ask you, throughout this whole season, you guys had a great battle. You and Sid Harmer Jr. were the class of the field for the 2018 season. Some phenomenal battles out here. Last week got a little heated, but you guys have had some great times.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good racing. I mean, I can't complain. Things get heated every now and then, but that's racing.
All right, people you need to thank, Sean.
I got to thank Classy Taxi, Jess's Pet Spa, Diamond Cut, Lawn Care, Chip Phelps Jr., The Lions Auto Body, DNS Garage, the whole crew, Berkey, my dad, my grandfather.
And how's the 4-time track champion? How's that sound?
That sounds pretty good. Go for 5 next year.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Your 2018 Fabco Pro Street Stock feature Champion for the year is Sean Kirby.
Well, so let's pick it up.